And what's going on, everybody? Welcome to How Not to Souls. JR on here, and today we're looking at a Shadow of the Erdtree Dragon Goddess build. Sorry, I was a little excited right there, apparently. Yeah, it's a Dragon Goddess build. It's basically a build-up of a dragon build from the Elden Ring base game. And it turned out to be pretty awesome. Actually, I had a lot of fun with it. Very glass cannony. But I think we had a good variety of weapons, and really the start of the show is the incantations. But let's look at our stats to show where we're at, and we can go on from there. So at a 212, a high-level build, Elena Dragoon had a 50 vigor, 40 mind, 35 endurance, 18 strength, 29 dex, 40 faith, and 70 arcane. You can really arrange your vigor to dex really any way you want, but if you want to get the maximum out of your dragon incantations, I'd say 40 faith's a good place to cut off, and anything like 60 or above for arcane, it's good. It's really good. Oh, plus you'll also have the blood flame incantations if you want to throw those into the mix. But I feel that these really do shine. These dragon incantations sign at a 40 and 70 balance of faith and arcane. And I also felt that I had it very glass cannony when I did the base game build. I just buffed up the health, gave myself a little more mind and some more endurance. And basically strength and dex should just be for weapon requirements. You're not going to be, you are, because you should be adept at melee. But your focus should not be melee. It should be the dragon incantations. But anyway, now we'll look at the weapons to show you that I am a total liar about having a focus on incantations. But anyway, for the base game, I didn't have Nagakiba. I decided to level it up for the DLC, and it was my favorite. We had Rivers of Blood, Eleanor's Poleblade, things that go well with like an arcane build, something dexy, because that was essentially the side we took for melee. But we added the Dragon Hunter's Great Katana, which is good for hunting dragons. The Great Katana, which I freaking love. This was a cult for a majority. I changed out the Ash of War for some reason at some point, but it should be a cult. And it has a high blood loss on it too, and it does decent physical damage. The Flowerstone Gavel, which was amazing. Here, we can even take a look at it. So it's nothing really special. It's just like a really little great hammer. Swingy. But really what it is, it's the Ash of War that really does it as a Dragon Bolt. And then we can do a charged Dragon Bolt. Make it a little more potent, which was pretty rad. Super duper fun to use. I also took a dip into the Obsidian Lamina, even though I didn't get it till endgame, which sucks. After Radahn dies, you have Ansbach just lying there on the ground. You can take his stuff. I did try it out for a bit. It was super duper fun. And I also took a dip into some martial arts with the Occult Dryleaf Arts. Super fun. I think it'd be better. I probably had a quality build or something more melee focused. But otherwise, I did have fun when I was using it. So that is that. And anything else of note? No. that is it for the weapons. For our seal, Dragon Convenience Seal, Dragon Incantations. That's the best one for it. It's the best for the Dragon Incantations. And the Incantation scaling is pretty GD good, too, if you look at that. 359. That's pretty awesome. So, as you noticed, our armor set is non-existent. We are using the Priestess Heart to give us Dragon Form, which gives us 0 poise, but it does give you that vibe of the Dragon Priestess. And you hit it again. Shazam, you get a little buff on your incantations. I want to say 15%. I forgot. Don't shoot me. But you do get a buff on your incantations and some of your resistances as well. But really, you get, it's just no armor, which kind of not great for a squishy build. And you are squishy. But when we did have armor, we used the full clean rot set. Because I like how it looks. Look good with it. Unaltered. I like how it all just comes together for this build. And our talismans. Talismans were weird. This is a weird one because I switched out a lot if I had to go into melee. So the main ones we had on for our casting with the Urge Your Favorite +2 for the health, stamina, equip load. Got a pretty icon for the charged, extra charge, enhancements on spells. The War Medallion for our breath attacks, which was outrageous when we did use breath attacks. And the Flox Canvas Talisman, I think it gives you a 10% boost on your incantations, which was pretty wild. And with these, we kind of switched these out with the Shard of Alexander. We'll go if we wanted like that extra poise, even though that was only when we had armor. That's the only time it was helpful. Two-handed sword talisman, just in case we ended up two-handing our weapon. I gotta tell you, sometimes we just had to be in a melee kind of mood because these incantations are slow to cast. And I think that's about it. I think that's about that for the talismans. Our consumables, Priestess Heart. If you want to use the Rock Heart, which is the same thing, I think it's a little better, but I just didn't like how it looked with what we were doing. But essentially, it does the same thing. Gives you a slightly better boost for your incantations and your resistances. That kind of thing. Knives. Poison bone darts. You know the drill. Pots, greases, whatever your consumables may be. I did have the Opaline Hard tier and the Stone Barb Crack tier for breaking poise. It was huge. When we were breaking poise with our Dragon Maw, huge damage, huge time. It was a huge time. It was a huge time, guys. But that's that for our lovely incantations, which were the star of the show. Dragon Claw, Dragon Maw, essential. I love them both. My favorite. I had the Borealis Mist right here. I took it out for Ghost Flame Breath. I thought it was pretty wild. I like Ghost Flame a lot. I think Borealis Mist or whatever it is, just a pure ice one, is good in its own way. But I just preferred the Ghost Flame Breath. Ixaix Decay, Scarlet Rot Breath still does a lot of good damage too. Bale's Flame Lightning, which I thought was awesome. I just couldn't find the great opportunity to use it because of the slow charge time. Roar of Regalia, which is not a dragon incantation, I know. But it does a roar similar to Greyl's Roar. And does some really good damage. It doesn't give you the debuff like Greyl's Roar does, so if you want to have Greyl's Roar on, do it up. I think it's a great option to have. I just preferred this. I also like having projectiles. Where would be without our Giant's Flame Take Thee? This is the best fire incantation in the game, in my opinion. Or Catch Flame or O Flame are pretty good too. But those are different. Those aren't projectiles. Those are just kind of like, bam, you're in my face. Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, I did not use. I had on there for for thumbnail things, but we'll use Knight's Lightning Spear. I thought this was a great addition to the game. Here, and I just love it. The more you charge it, the more lightning you get out of it too. It's pretty good, and I've seen it used in PvP to great effect. So that's also a great option to have. But overall, this was super fun. Yes, it's squishy. Yes, you're gonna have to go into melee, and your melee is not the best. Your incantations are top notch. But just keep in mind, you have a fair balance between what you're leveling up and just get your incantation power, your faith and intelligence, where you want to be before you make any other choices. I'd say health and stamina are secondary to those. So make sure you can survive. And then melee can come secondary. Something with arcane, maybe something with faith. But I recommend dex. You can go strength, but I'd say dex would be a better option for this, just for the faster casting too, because you get faster casts if you level up your decks. But anyway, guys, I'd like to hear what you think, and hope you enjoy the rest of the footage. I'll see you later, and have a great day. Peace.
Like a stake in the heart. Somehow we got driven apart.